Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek Abdir, doing this work of faith and labor of love, truth, sincerity. All right, I just want to get into a quick lesson based upon Isaiah 62 and 6, and it reads, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not thy silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And, I wanted to get into this because, this is based upon, us praying, nonstop unto the Heavenly Father. This is about us, sighing and crying for all the abominations, that be done in the midst thereof. And, for us to give, Esau hell in the spirit, hell in the spirit, as far as it's constantly, putting out these shows, doing the work of Yahweh Bashmi Awashah, and, just bringing down all the lies and the crap in which he's, believed, made the world to believe. And one of those things, like how the scriptures say, real quick, in Corinthians, first or second, must be second, always forget to double books. Um, 10. It is 2 Corinthians 10 and start at verse 3, and it says, For though we walk after the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua. And this is exactly what we're doing, bringing down all the imaginations, the thoughts on which Esau has that he's going to be doing unto us, that he's going to be bringing upon the face of this earth. We're bringing all of his madness to light. Therefore, the people are seeing it, as we see it. Okay. And they're going to, and as we know, they're beginning to panic. These elites are beginning to panic. And there's so many people that's out there that's working, working their way up and seeing what Esau is actually doing. They're working their way through the ranks, and they looking, researching different information, so on and so forth, to get a clear picture of who and what the so-called white man is, the devil that the Bible speaks of, that we always talk about constantly. Real quick, maybe want to go to Stock, if y'all hear all that noise in the background. These bastards want to be doing all this construction shit. But yeah, this is Isaiah 25, and I started verse 6, and it says, and in this mountain, because we know mountains represents, governments or land masses, and in this mountain, so in this place here, America, and in this mountain shall the Lord of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wine on the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines on the lees well refined. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast all over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. And that represents the lies that the nations has been told, the covering cast that they have over themselves, the covering cast that they placed over us, all of the proverbs and the bywords that they call us, not by our real identity as us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans being Hebrew Israelites. They're covering cast over them, calling themselves Caucasian, which really isn't much of a covering cast to a degree. that is one label because what they did dwell in the Caucasus Mountains, but they just try to use that as though that's where they're original from, which is not fully the case, you know. But they it's it's funny because they try to start off their origins as the beginning people upon the face of the earth, right? And they try to make themselves to be all people, but yet you call yourself Caucasian, obviously because you dwell in those mountains. Well, if you knew that you dwell in those mountains, how could you be, you know, the Egyptians, these people, that people? How could you be all these people? So these are the type of things they do, but their true biblical identity goes back to Esau, Edom, just as every other nation upon the face of the earth has a biblical identity. You got the Ammonites, so-called Japanese, Moab, so-called Chinese, so on and so forth. So these are the different covering casts and the different lies that America, Esau has told unto the mass of the people, and people are actually falling for them and believing them. So now within this present time, this is what we're out here to do. We're out here to defend the gospel by by, by spiritual means, defending the word, being actual men of the Lord, bringing out the word, letting people know who we are, or the atrocities that he has committed, allowing our people to see for themselves, what the truth of the Lord is, not how the pastors and preachers in them teach you, but actually the words of Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shah. Okay, bringing them all into fruition. And one of the big things too, just as far as me speaking on, giving the Lord no rest, is always prayer, which is top. It's always one of my favorite precepts as far as prayer. So Philippians 4:6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto the Most High. And we can never stress prayer enough. We all can definitely probably pray a bit more. Because I know I pray here and there, but it's not like it should be. So this is also for me to get more on it myself as well. And I'm sure some other brothers out there that can just hear that, as well. Just whenever something is arising, before things actually hit, you definitely want to put up those prayers unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. You definitely want to do that, just to cover yourself on all bases. That way we are well protected in the spirit of the Lord and in our everyday walkings, our comings, our goings, so on and so forth. We just want to be protected, we just want to be protected by the Lord, by the Lord in all things in which we do and how we go about things in our daily life. Damn, it's like I lost my train of thought. Yeah, because the times that are coming, they're pretty much here. They're pretty much here, and the scriptures constantly tell us, and we have to be reminded of these things, on a daily, that we keep our hope and our faith that much more firm and stronger in the Lord. So this Habakkuk 2:1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall say, or what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So, the times of the Lord are definitely at hand. We have to brace ourselves for the things that are to come, and just stay strong through it all. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash, number one to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, and Shalom to elect out there doing this work of faith and live with love, with true sincerity. Shalom.